right, welcome back to the Quiet Hug podcast with the one and only owner of the Made in Compton store, Bone. How are you today?
I'm good in yourself.
Good, good. Absolutely. Now, today we're going to get started right away and just share about the fact that quiet hugs can be many things and mean many things to people because we've been talking about the quiet hug for the mind, of course, quiet hug physically, mentally, emotionally. And sometimes it's just a matter of sitting quietly, like we see Teddy G right there. Like a quiet hug can just be simple peace of mind, like they say. So yeah, you want to share something before I share more information about the psychology of comfort clothing?
Yeah, that when you just said sitting quietly, and then I looked at Teddy G, it made me think about a book I read. It was
Mm,
about somebody that was a prisoner of war, and
mm,
she used to meditate like while they had her in water deprivation,
mm.
and she used to meditate that like teleport her body out of her situation. And it was like, wow, it made me start even meditating because it was showing that how she meditated and the things, the sounds she said to herself.
Nice, nice. Wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Now, when we hear psychology, it's the study of the mind, right? So it says the
Hmm.
psychology of comfort clothing. I was like, I had to look it up. And it says that it's centered around the idea that what people wear affects their emotions, stress levels, confidence, memories, and sense of safety. Clothing is not just fabric psychologically, it becomes connected to identity, emotional regulation, belonging, and physical comfort. Wow.
Wow.
I know. So that makes you think about we see Teddy G there with his with his robe on. Look, I was thinking about that song, snuggled in his hoodie. But yeah, there's the
Compton rolling.
that part right there. Gotta play that again tomorrow. Know that it is clothing. Yeah, as it's defined as creating emotional safety, Teddy G does look like he is real comfort, full of comfort because he could look like he's on a train and then look at that big view and then with having the earphones on and totally just like serene. Like he's not worried about anything, looking at anything. It's totally relaxed and warm. So that's a trip. That's pretty cool. So and then it also says here that the brain often associates certain clothing with home, childhood memories, rest, peace, and trusted environments. And that's why many people immediately change clothes after work or psychologically it marks the transition from one thing into another, like stress to relief.
Man, remind me of when my mom used to make me change my clothes when I got home from school.
Right. I was thinking that too. I was like, what? How about this? So, I mean, this every day is a new day for learning, but definitely these podcasts cause us to learn new things too and reflect as well. And especially the Quiet Hub podcast is pretty neat. So, it also talks about how comfort clothing reduces mental fatigue. Like tight, restrictive, or overly formal clothing can subtly increase tension and self awareness. So, comfort clothing helps lower that sensory irritation, physical stress, and decision fatigue. So, this makes people feel calmer, more emotionally regulated, and mentally off duty. How cool is that?
Man, like they say with food, you are what you eat. I guess
Mhm.
it's the same adage with clothes. You are what you wear.
Right. Yeah, that's part right there. And what you saying that is right here though. It talks about nostalgia, how many consumers are unconsciously purchasing nostalgia, belonging, emotional ease, confidence, or comfort memories. So just like a robe is rarely just a robe, it has some attachments to it. Like they have some people, like they say they have more than one robe because they didn't got a gift this year or that type of thing. And but then they have their favorite robe, or they get a new one and then it's really nice. So and then it becomes their new favorite. So I was like, how neat is that? And this is
Man,
a lot of people do need that quiet moment to decompress in this world. So all the things we're seeing on the news, and there's just so much going on in the world though. But yeah, so if it's not a made in Compton robe, it could be just sipping a cup of coffee, but it's something about the identity part of it, the sense of belonging. You have a made in Compton mug, made in Compton robe, and so forth. There is a sense of belonging. And then just like people come to the store and they find out that we're more than just a store, and which a store is fine, but there's so much more you get so much more value when you visit the store yourself.
oh, absolutely.
hmm So, and then there's this thing they talk about. You know how people have matching lounge sets, outdoors, and it's about to be barbecue time, and all the holidays. Well, it's a lot of holidays already occurring, but just thinking about the summertime. Just imagine, how people like today. There was some one of the parents were telling the wife is telling the father, why don't you get a matching T-shirt like your son? And he was like, he too grown. It's too grown. He's too grown for that. What are we talking about here? But she was just so excited about being back in Compton, and then feeling like, wow, this would be pretty neat to see you guys like that. And I think what it was too is, just imagine if you're gone away from where you grew up at for a long time, and then you get a chance to come back, and then thinking about what event you're gonna have, you kind of want to see that. Just like that other lady said, she had everything Compton for her birthday party, and even people came to the store to buy Compton Compton attire. And oh yeah, shout out to the one and only Byron with the birthday song. That's where one of those boxes came from. He purchased
Hmm.
a one-time Compton in the box. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. It's something about that. So all that makes you feel that connection, get a chance to, feel like, like even the people that came to out of state to come back home, it does make it like nostalgic because you go back in time. hmm
Oh, I
So
felt the moment when you said the robe and the coffee mug. That sounded like a day off at the house just chilling.
just that coupled by itself, absolutely. So cool. Now there's this other thing that talk about, because we're learning here. Also, it says psychology and neuroscience studies show that soft textures can trigger calming emotional responses. So notice when people rub the robe, how we get so many reactions. It's
Man, I
fun.
seen somebody actually close their eyes one day. They rubbed the robe.
Absolutely. And then some people have such rich imagination that they just looked at it and were like, no, I can't touch that because I already know I'm gonna have to buy that. I didn't come in here for that though, but let me thank you for letting me know that you have that, you know? Yeah. So it's really neat because it's just like, oh, right now, especially with people there, it's just like, when am I gonna get a chance to relax? So
Man,
I know, but it's
it
soothing. Just
remind me of Fabian when he was wearing the robe. He say, "I'm pimping."
shout out to Fabian. Oh yeah, I have to got to get that video out there tomorrow. Yes, matter of fact, we could play that as part of the Flashback Friday videos. That portion of it. Yeah,
Oh
that's.
yeah, that'd be nice.
hmm Actually, sure enough. And then there's this part right here, really quick. It says, comfort clothing became emotional therapy after stressful times. It said after the pandemic, especially, people shifted toward loungewear, comfort fashion, oversized fits, relaxation aesthetics, and soft living. What do you think about that?
Oh, I could see people trying to get back into the swing of things, the normality of it. Something about wearing something soft, it puts you back in a comforting situation, a mindset.
Mm-hmm. So that's probably why people that aren't feeling well and so forth, they get a lot of self care, and some things that are soft wear. So then that way they can feel better emotionally, and actually, it's like a quiet hug. Like that's why people give people blankets. Well, we don't sell blankets yet, but we have the made in Compton robe, and how neat is that? Like they say, when people aren't around, and sometimes you need a hug. So that's a quiet hug in itself. Putting on the robe.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Totally agree.
Yeah, yeah. So if there was something that, like they say, a public service announcement, there's something here that says like, um, why we change clothes after work. Think that's something to think about. Just to remember, it's psychological transition from survival mode to peace. And the science of softness is about how the texture affects mood and stress. And then, why do adults secretly love hoodies? Because it could be security, identity, nostalgia, and emotional comfort. And then it's this thought also, your nervous system needs a uniform too. So, how comfortable environments affect emotional health. And maybe that's a sidebar. Maybe that's another reason why the children want to wear the hoodies when it's so hot. It's super hot. It could
Hmm.
part of the nervous system and it help them to feel more comfortable. And just think about the children that's in foster care and different situations, and just maybe just going through the fact that this year they're not doing math that well because it's algebra or something abstract, or it's some subject that they don't like, and they have to do so many projects and different things that year, what have you. So maybe that's another reason why the children will wear those hoodies when it's so hot. So just now learning that that's a possibility. So, and also, comfort is a form of healing. So just think about emotional exhaustion. That's a real thing. Sometimes, so I know as a comedian at different times, or, just helping people, coaching people in acting, you can get emotionally exhausted because you're trying to help people um, develop emotions and read in a certain type of way. And it can actually make you feel tired, like you've been running a track or doing something, very physical. So, yeah, this is one way to think about it. Restorative mhm, rest. Absolutely. I'm just looking at my screen here and I was like, where did it go? Because I hadn't touched it. And you know how your screen, like a Bluetooth television, will go away. But yeah, Bone, is there something you want to share right here?
Yeah, when you said that, it made me think about like how some kids are loners or, like not easily sociable. How they like to
Mhm.
wear hoodies because it make them
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like closed in. It gives them
Mhm.
comfort.
That part right there. Absolutely. I remember a couple of students, they used to like to use the testing cardboard because they felt like because they wanted to disassociate themselves, from their table partners and everything. But at the same time, it made them feel like they really felt like they had their own office because they had a shield, and they color coded their testing folder, and all kinds of things. But yeah, it's something about that, just shielding yourself, like when they're able to wear the hoodie all zipped up. Of course it wasn't able to wear the hoods on the hoodies in the classroom, but it's something about being able to zip up their hoodies and then tie their string, the string to their hoodie. um It is just something to see, like, wow, okay, okay. But yeah, so now there's this thing about instead of just thinking about buying Mother's Day, buying a robe for somebody for Mother's Day, it could be Father's Day, universal color, black and gray. And I remember some gentlemen, they bought some hoodies. I'm sorry, the robes for Super Bowl. And I thought that was pretty cool. They said they were just gonna have their like a party, a Super Bowl party, and because they keep the air pretty cold and everything. It was an older man, he had a group home. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he said, I'm gonna pull out the cigars and have cigars and we have the maid to count the rolls. I was like, all right now. That's a spin. See, that's pretty tight. You just never know.
They
Yeah.
set a whole vibe.
Because when you older, you like they say, they just be kicking around and everything. So even the people, the older men that are have been grandfathered in on the Compton in the box, that they just love just to come to the store and for the ambiance, the conversation, and just to get something new. And it's just pretty neat. Like sometimes they say, well, I didn't wash this one properly, especially after I spilled all kinds of oil from whatever they was eating and everything. And then but then you got some that takes their t-shirts to the cleaners. They don't even wash clothes. They really retired, they say. But it is just pretty neat that all of everything that deals with resting, relaxation, feeling like that quiet hug, a brand new t-shirt on, whether it's long sleeve or short sleeve. Yeah, all that feels good. So,
Man, no guys that take it to the cleaners, them the guys that get 10 years out of our shirts.
absolutely. So they just love it, and like they said, they have enough space with children um, exiting the house and have their own homes and places to go that they say, no, I got extra room and space for my things. So they like, I'm in here. Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. And then some people, I know this one is some people. I have so much to say, but I know we're gonna wrap this up shortly. But I know I'm gonna say about that one gentleman. He has a favorite T-shirt, and he just likes to keep it brand new. He said, "I don't even wash it. I just come and get another one." It's his favorite T-shirt. So I don't want to say because if somebody might see him, that's that guy. But yeah. So he's got his thing about one thing. Yeah. So that's pretty neat too. And like some of the other gentlemen, older retired guys, they say they just want to spread the wealth and everything. They've been around a long time and there's a lot of people that have, started businesses, still have businesses, and unfortunately, like the Mom's Burger is not there anymore and they're Compton High alumni, but they like to frequent different places and everything. And so the t-shirts, uh having the $25 Wednesday t-shirts has been pretty cool, for the ones that's not on the Compton in the box. So they like that idea, that concept. So they tip anyway. They just still pay for it. But now, like it's saying, tip yourself. But they're relaxed, because they're wearing the joggers and they got the hoodies on, and so it's pretty neat. Some of the older guys you see, they're starting to get their custom T-shirts.
Man,
Mhm. Yeah, because they like it. Oh, he's busy getting. Oh, let me see. If I could pick and choose what I want to wear too, let me get one of them. Mhm. I remember one guy that comes in there sometimes. He it was another customer ahead of him that you were doing his custom T-shirt, and his family was there, and he was sitting in one of the chairs that he was sitting in, his favorite chair. He went to the car. He said, "I'm gonna be in the car for a little bit. I'll wait." That's funny. You gotta love it. So yeah, but that's cool. But just knowing, just shout out really quick that we, besides the relaxation rolls, we actually do have drinkware sets. We actually have those shot glasses that's frosted and clear, and they can match the you know, whether it's hoodies or t-shirts, but it creates that nice, kindness to yourself. And it really does matter to just take time out of the week and, you know, it's kind of like, regroup. Like what city lights, people going, they go check out jazz instruments, or just looking out the window at the rain, or just, just flying on a plane, just looking at the, maybe soft gold lighting that maybe they can see from the airplane window and things like that. So, yeah. But Bone, we know that there's so much to share. But tomorrow we're gonna be here for Friday, Flashback Friday. And before we go, is there something you want to share?
Yeah, I like to say I know sometimes when I put on a nice new soft hoodie and
Mhm.
joggers, it feel like I'm wrapped in a blanket. I feel like I'm just in the comforts of my own home when I'm out and about.
Nice, nice, absolutely. That's really cool. And I mean, because come on, remember, like it was sharing that back in the day, when the pandemic subsided, a lot of people, a lot more people were starting to wear pajamas around. They got so used to it. Just think, you look suited and booted with those joggers and hoodies from the Made and Compton store. Feel really good.
Man,
Hmm.
all
So,
that being in the house got them want to be in their comfort zone, even
mm,
when they out and about.
that part, that part. Well, let me just share that this would be a picture, if you will, of some of those glassware, and that's that hip flask that may be enticing to somebody that still are looking for gifts, for upcoming holidays. So definitely, it's complimentary, if you want to get a book as well to put with some gifts. That would be pretty cool. And, because there's a plethora of holidays taking place, but just like on Tuesdays, we talk about Tipsy Tuesday. We talk about different drinks, and if you didn't get a chance to see that one already, just knowing, something that complements there may be somebody's favorite juice or a smoothie, utilizing one of the glassware from the Made in Compton store be really cool. And we do have gift bags there. So just want to put that out there in the air. Yeah. All right. Well, let me share a commercial right here, and then we'll come right back just in case, Bone, you want to close us out with something else. This will be super quick.
Did you
Okay.
ask though? Did you? Did you ask about the 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. the secret deal? Oh, don't be moving too fast though. Walk right in like you already know. Walk in chill like what's the deal? They might smile like it's real. Oh, it's real. No loud signs, no big display. But the ones who ask get blessed that day. Try and say why you look fly too. Whole outfit got a vibrant new. Don't be shy. Just ask one time. You might walk out feeling extra fine. Friend Rustus. Wait, you didn't ask? Did you ask though? Don't miss out. 2 p.m., 5 p.m. flow. Every day made it count though. Now you know.
All right, Bone.
Yeah, when you stop by the Made in Compton store, ask to look at the catalog of the one-time boxes, the non-subscription boxes, because we have a box for every day of the week, and we have another box that's paired with it, like the tourist box, or the collector's box, or the high school box. So yeah, ask about our secret deals from 2 to 5. We got you covered.
All right, now. Well, until next time, everybody, have a great, great time.
Peace.